Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today I have my brother, mi hermano, Dr. Carlos Ellis from Puerto Rico. Dr. Carlos, what's up, my brother?
Roberto, having the time of my life, having a great day, being productive, and to top it all off with you
Oh, I
today
appreciate
on a
that.
live interview. Yeah, it doesn't
I
get any better.
appreciate that.
How does it get any better than that?
I appreciate that. Dr. Carlos and I, we go back 4 or 5 years. We met in Puerto Rico. We work on several projects together.
Yes.
One of my favorite things, there's several things that I love about Dr. Carlos. One of my favorite thing is your spirit of entrepreneurship. You always, we were just talking about it right before that. He is asking me, hey man, how about this? How about that? How about this technology? He's always looking to take things next level. And he said literally maybe 10 seconds before he goes, if I'm not learning, I'm bored, So I love that about you, Dr. Carlos.
Yes. One of my greatest instructors, mentors, Dr. Larry Markson, once said that when I'm learning, I'm happy. And I think that applies to everybody.
To everybody.
Everybody that when they're learning, they're happy. So I like to be happy. So I'm learning.
I love it. Dr. Carlos is a very successful mentor, coach, leader, doctor of chiropractic. He does seminars everywhere in Puerto Rico, in Mexico. I see you traveling in Spain, traveling everywhere. It's such an honor to have you here, brother, to share. I'm going to call you brother because that's how I feel about you.
Thank you.
And I had a chance to go in Puerto Rico, see Dr. Carlos. And today we're going to talk about his really cool concept called QuiroHub, which allows bring personal development, professional training to chiropractors all over the world. So can you talk? So what is QuiroHub?
QuiroHub it originally was the webpage to our management or consulting management firm, and it has evolved into a hub of knowledge for Spanish-speaking chiropractors. We find, as you know, the development chiropractic is discovered and developed in the United States, and so is the business of chiropractic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say 80%, 90% of the information geared towards the business of chiropractic is in English, and very little of it accessible to the Spanish-speaking community, which is growing by leap and bounds in the chiropractic world.
I love that. So as a guy who was born in Brazil, I'm 50 years old, so I spent 25 years here, 25 years in Brazil. I can relate to that. When you're growing up in Brazil, people trying to get that knowledge here in America. I was like, we want to try to get it because it's so developed here. So can you give us a little bit about the chiropractic scene in Spanish communities or Spanish countries? Can you give kind of like an overall feel for the market right now?
My exposure to the Spanish chiropractic arena is recent. I think some of you who are English speaking might find this interesting. As a Puerto Rican chiropractor, we are on the fence. We have one leg in the United States and one leg in Latin America, but we are more influenced by United States. So much so that when I developed my coaching career here in Puerto Rico, my head was in Puerto Rico and maybe in the United States. I had totally lost track of what was going on with chiropractic in Iberoamerica. That I say Iberoamerica because that includes Spain and Latin America as well. And when I opened my eyes and started evaluating that part of the market, to my surprise, chiropractic is growing exponentially outside of the United States, particularly in Spanish-speaking countries.
Or what other countries that you have clients or maybe members of the QuiroHub that from Spanish-speaking countries?
Yeah, we've been able to connect with Spanish chiropractors from Spain, Mexico, there's a huge Mexican chiropractic community, particularly because the education in Mexico is part of the public education system, is a system through which you become a professional chiropractor in Mexico.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Oh, yes, yes. And it's actually for Mexican citizens, it's very inexpensive to become a chiropractor. Chiropractors in Mexico graduate very young. Like, for example, in the United States, most people graduate from high school turning 18. Then they go to college, and then they go to chiropractic school. In Mexico, most graduate from high school at 17 years of age, and they go straight into chiropractic school. So you have chiropractors that are 21, 22 years of age, starting careers very young. And then we have some mega successful chiropractic entrepreneurs that have multiple clinics in Mexico, and they're 26 years of age.
Interesting.
Just because, not only because of their smarts and entrepreneur spirit, but also how young they graduate from chiropractic school. So we've also been able to connect through the time with a Chilean community. Chiropractic in Chile is formal, and it is practiced legally as well as in Mexico. And in Chile, there is a chiropractic program in one of their universities. In Argentina, chiropractic is growing as well. There are about 3 or 4 chiropractic institutions that prepare chiropractors in Argentina. So then I believe you will correct me, because I'm not that knowledgeable about the Brazilian community, but I believe there are chiropractic. I understand there are chiropractic.
Yeah, there's chiropractic schools there as well.
So, and each one of these countries is a world in itself. Chiropractic is one thing in Mexico. Is another. Chiropractic is chiropractic. Let's be clear. But the way chiropractic is studied and practiced is quite different from one country to the other.
What's some differences? And that was one of my questions here, because I know you travel to America, to teach and to train a lot. What has been some? And again, I know it's very specific by country, but if you were to put one category, chiropractic, to the Spanish market, what would be one difference from the doctor perspective and one difference from the patient perspective? You know what I mean?
Wow. Going to the patient perspective, which I think is one of the things that I see the most power in. People in these countries don't know what chiropractic is. And that, in a way, is a good thing, because I experienced it. I've been for 25 years in practice. And when I returned to Puerto Rico from Life College, 90% of the people that I met at events or different opportunities did not have an idea of what chiropractic was.
That's amazing. That's amazing to think about that.
With the right guide, which I had through my mentors, Larry Markson being one of them, with the right guide, that provides a gigantic opportunity to educate the people correctly from the moment they first come in contact with you. Something that maybe doesn't happen anymore is an opportunity that you don't have in the United States, because most people have either gone to a chiropractor or think they know what a chiropractor is. So the challenge in these countries, like it was in Puerto Rico 25 years ago, is that because of people don't know what a chiropractor is, they don't seek chiropractic. But once they meet you, you have a great opportunity to educate them on what really chiropractic is, and have them develop as chiropractic patients in your office, as well as their family.
I love that. And from a perspective, from the doctor perspective,
from the doctor, as it goes, there the same difference exists. There's vitalistic chiropractors, there are mechanistic chiropractors that have different angles on their service. I think one of the I see it from my Puerto Rican perspective. One of the best things for them is that there's no insurance involved anywhere. There's not even the patients don't have any perspective that at any point insurance is going to pay for chiropractic. So everybody knows from the beginning that it is a private service. As it was in Puerto Rico when I began practice. For the first 3-5 years of my professional career, there was insurance in Puerto Rico, but none that had chiropractic assignment in it. And I call it the golden years of chiropractic in Puerto Rico. As soon as the insurance began to be related to chiropractic in Puerto Rico, well, I don't think I have to explain anybody in the United States how that goes. At times when I'm speaking with chiros in Latin America,
comments we have here. Comment on different type of chiropractic. Okay, the different types of chiropractic. Dr. Bradley Boki wants to know about different. We talk about that, Dr. Brad is amazing. We're going to talk about that, different kinds of chiropractors.
So sometimes I speak to chiropractors from Iberoamerica, and they say, "Oh yes, because in Puerto Rico it's easy because in Puerto Rico you have insurance." They don't know how good they have it being in a totally private environment.
Yeah, obviously as a non-chiropractor, and I work with both chiros who accept insurance, those who cash only, and this is just an observation, high level, like just super high level. I think the people who are the chiros who are just cash based only, they have a bigger. I think overall they have a better flow. They're happier, I think, but might be wrong on that one. Might be wrong.
We've done both. Our model, the model that we teach in Puerto Rico, is a non-insurance dependent model. Because of the peculiarities of insurance in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we don't have the large co-pays, the large deductibles. That's the right word. In Puerto Rico, we don't have the large deductibles that you guys have in the United States. So it makes the situation a little different, and it makes more sense to do non-insurance dependable than cash practice. But when you have a truly non-insurance dependable practice, 75-80% of your income coming from private sources, is the dream practice. When that happens, people know what they're coming into your practice. People are bringing in their families. People are referring others to care. When you do an event, your patients are motivated to participate in that event. That doesn't happen when you are on an insurance-dependent model. It's just very hard to do.
Got it. Answering the Dr. Bradley question here, have you noticed that in South America, the different countries, Argentina, Spain, Puerto Rico, are there different chiropractic modalities that you've seen?
To present my vision with clarity, there's only one chiropractic, which is the location and correction of vertebral subluxations for the removal of nerve interference. That's chiropractic. But we know then you include the human nature element in it. And then as many chiropractors as you have, as many angles on chiropractic philosophy there is. And none that when you in what I've seen in outside of the United States, in Latin America, is exactly the same that happens in the United States. There are chiropractors that have a vitalistic approach, call them straight chiropractors. There are chiropractors that have a mechanistic approach to care, and the same human nature division that exists in the United States and exists everywhere in the world also happens there. And I don't think at this point of the game, I don't think it's a chiropractic thing. I think it's just a human nature thing. If you find 100 human beings that think exactly the same about a subject, and you put them in a closed environment, you know what's going to happen within 3 months. They're not going to. The 100 are not going to be thinking the same.
I love it. That's true. So Dr. Jose say, love you both. Love you, Dr. Salgado, Dr. Brett. So I love that dollar followers value 100%. 100%. So what has been let's talk about QuiroHub. A couple questions. Well, I have one. This question I actually wrote it down. If for the doctor who speak English and their staff is English, But I know Dr. Boki, for example, has a dental office, and he might have a Spanish population in his area,
Uh-huh.
right? Or maybe he's a dentist, but he may have another chiropractor who practice in America or practice in Europe, who have clients in Europe, and the community have a lot of Spanish speaking, but they don't speak Spanish, the doctor per se. Do you have any tips that you recommend?
Wow.
I'm putting in a spot here. We didn't.
My niche is Spanish. You know,
Okay.
as you can tell, I'm fully bilingual. I'm a U.S. prepared chiropractor. There's a gigantic U.S. influence over Puerto Rico. There's no doubt about that. But my niche is chiropractic. Most of our material, all of our material for Kairos is in Spanish. I do teach in English or procedures, but we don't have content in Spanish. I do think that, without a doubt, the chiropractor, even if it's not Spanish speaking, and this comes from my limited experience by living in the United States, having colleagues in the United States, and comparing this to Puerto Rico and Latin America. The chiropractor that is in an area where there's a big Hispanic community and is not serving that Hispanic community is missing out on a lot, because the connection that develops between Hispanic patients and their chiropractors is deeper and more friendlier than, I hope that I didn't say a mistake there, is friendlier than what we see typically happen within the United States as a rule. Latin Americans are family-oriented people, so once you get one of them in, you're not gonna be able to get rid of the rest of the family.
Yeah. I love that. I love it. You know, Dr. Boki said I have at least 2 Spanish speakers in each office. You're a smart man. You're a smart man, brother. Texas has to be bilingual.
Texas has to be bilingual.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, because we dealt with my when I was living in California. Shout out to my previous Chiro, Dr. Ryan Hummel, and he was located in the area around Point Loma. They don't have many Spanish speaking, but towards the south, closer to the border, he started getting invitations to speak at churches in kind of like Spanish speaking. And he said, man, those clients are amazing. They come here, they pay cash. They bring their family, exactly. Yeah. And he was like, hey, man, can you translate my doctor's report in Spanish? I'm like, man, I'm not your guy. Spanish. So I totally love it. Because sometimes I feel like coming from Brazil, learning English. I studied Spanish high school. For some doctors, it is intimidating to think that I'm not be able to serve this community because of the language barrier. But one thing that I personally experience, and then number 2, I've seen a lot of doctors when they go to mission work, and they let's say American doctors, they don't speak the language, they still serving people the highest level, which I think is an amazing deal.
Yeah. There are some chiros that have put some. I got some chiros that have put some effort into learning Spanish, and they always say, I mean, English speaking chiros. And they always say that they know chiropractic Spanish, which means they know how to relate to a patient in the working hours of the office. Then they leave the office and they don't know any more Spanish than that.
Hey, that's good. That's good. That's good.
And I would tend to think that in your community, I mean your tribe, I mean your clients and the people that follow you, most likely they're procedure based. Most likely they like scripting, or they see the value in scripting. If you are that type of chiro, all you have to do is just translate that script. It's really not that much to be said. I mean, everybody knows really successful chiropractors don't talk much. So at least they don't talk much. They don't talk much when they're adjusting. So if you're able to have somebody translate some of that material for you, and just have some basic limited knowledge that is going to guide you through an evaluation process and just a day-to-day exchange with the patients, there's a lot that you can do to serve that community. And something tells me that even though they are a Spanish-speaking community, it doesn't mean that they only speak Spanish. I bet,
for sure.
I bet you that they are all on Netflix and they are all on social media and they're exposed to English all the time. So most likely they'll be able to understand what you're trying to
love
achieve.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
So the so the QuiroHub right now, I know you changed a couple things. So what's happening with QuiroHub right now?
Well, as I mentioned before, originally, and this is curious because it was just a catchy name, QuiroHub, HUB, a hub like the car hub or a knowledge hub. But it was meant to be my coaching firm's website. All of a sudden, the coaching firm evolves into something else. And now we're not offering our services through QuiroHub. What we're doing is we're gathering knowledge everywhere, Spanish knowledge everywhere there is for Spanish-speaking chiros. So it is a hub of knowledge of chiropractic practice management.
Is that for guys like me, for example, who speak English? Can I add value there, or just Spanish?
Spanish. Yeah, it's for a Spanish-speaking chiro. They can go to QuiroHub. It's not QuiroHub because it's not CHI. Is QUI. So that's why we pronounce it QuiroHub. Yeah. So in QuiroHub, our community, or what we present to the community, is people that can teach in Spanish the business procedures and office management procedures that will help chiropractors of Spanish-speaking nature develop their practice. As my experience as a practicing chiropractor and the benefits we receive from coaching and mentoring, and what we see in helping other clients through the years, 80% of the time, chiropractors not living the chiropractic dream or not being able to deliver chiropractic is due to bad business procedures. If not bad, poor business procedures, or just not knowing the management. It was my experience. It wasn't until we were able to implement good, congruent, success-oriented business procedure in our practice that we didn't begin to see the miracles of chiropractic happening in our offices. It's as simple as that.
You have one of the things I was so blown away when you work on our projects together. We don't have to get into here, but one of your systems, the massage systems, corporate massage systems, and then labs where you advertise in Puerto Rico, and then eventually a massage, and then a massage to appointments, to talks, and there was a whole system of things. Yeah. It was just brilliant. Oh, look what we have here. John Davila. Dr. John Davila says value, repeatable procedures.
Good to see you, my friend. I was just on the phone with him a couple of days ago.
I love it. We have all the crew here.
And thanks to John, we connected.
Yeah. Shout out to Dr. John Davila, our brother here, and we connected.
John says repeatable procedures always work. You know that the other day I came with a thought. If your business procedures are not I have to find the word capricho. Do you have the word capricho in
capricho is where capricho is understood, or capricho? What does it? We have capricho in
capricho.
I don't know if that means.
I'm gonna Google that translation.
Dr. Miguel, great Dr. Carlos Celes and Roberto, one of the best. Wow, I know them in person, and they're awesome. Thank you. Dr.
Miguel is not only a super chiropractor, but a fantastic human being. One of my favorite people. Actually, he's going to be soon in our platform to be interviewed.
I love it.
I'm looking for the word capricho.
Whim. For those who are watching, I put a link here below for QuiroHub in the description.
Yeah. I hope that the Google Translate doesn't betray me, because
Okay, are you in Portuguese or English? Which one?
Spanish.
Okay.
Whim, and the whim.
Okay.
Like, and then the translation of what I'm trying to say is that if your office procedures are not reproducible, your practice is just a whim.
Mm-hmm. Well, the same thing. The same thing applies to communication. There's different kinds of communication. There is for example, now you're having a conversation, a chat with a dog. We have a little opening, the questions, right? We have a flow. But a lot of doctors who are doing like pre pandemic, they were doing outside talks during the doctor's report group. So you gotta have a system, and the ones who do really well consistently, they have a system. The ones who don't have a system.
Yeah, I love systems. Capricho. See, Miguel translated. Thank you, Miguel.
So what is the future of chiropractic in Spanish-speaking countries? What is the vision that you have? What's the future?
I am biased. No,
but I want to hear. Your next word. I want to hear that. That's going to be the biggest growth in chiropractic industry in the next 10, 20 years?
I'm biased, and I'm gonna say it after I make a clear clarification that I am biased about this. I think the future of chiropractic lies in Ibero-American countries.
Why do you feel that way?
So
why do you feel that way?
Because and I'm gonna correct what I say. I think the future of chiropractic lies outside of countries where there is an insurance model. And I'm going to upgrade what I just said to the 2.0 version.
Okay.
Because when there's no insurance around, you're able to practice chiropractic the way you were taught. When there's no insurance around, you can have a true chiropractic conversation with your patients, and true chiropractic procedures in your practice that are not there to please the insurance model requirements. So I truly believe that a lot of good is going to come out of Ibero-American countries, as well as countries outside of the United States.
I love it. I never thought about that. Dr. Joe Davila says systems, chunks, repeatable, measure results, great content. Love you, brother. Can't wait to do an interview with you soon, my brother. Dr. Carlos, if people want to hear you, learn more about you, your services. I know you have a lot of tools and systems and coaching. First of all, what's the best way to connect with you?
Facebook, just like my name is on the screen, Carlos Celes. That's how I am on Facebook. Or you can look me up at QuiroHub, QuiroHub, and that is .com, or at Facebook as well. I think those are the two primary ways. We are on all the platforms, but those are the ones that we connect through with people the most.
Love it. And what is the biggest final question here? What is the biggest lesson you learned through this pandemic?
The biggest lesson, I think I'm gonna agree with what we were talking about, and some of the colleagues were mentioning on the chat about systems. I think what you said is punctual, that the systems have allowed us to quickly. So a lot of people that don't like systems thinks that systems are constricting,
rigid. Yeah, and it's the opposite.
And systems are liberating.
Yeah, structure. I have a saying that structure gives you freedom when you speak.
Yes, and a lot of my colleagues say, Carlos, you work so hard, and like on all those procedures. I'm like, what are you talking about? I have procedures because of how lazy I am. What do you mean you're lazy with all the work you do? You know, I am so lazy that I make sure I have good procedures to work very little.
I know. I love that. You know, it's so funny. I love that.
I'm being facetious when I say lazy. I'm not lazy. I work very
hard.
No,
I know you're always working. No, but I'm saying, like, it's almost like when I build up a talk, a lot of people stress, and I have a system to produce X amount of presentation content fast because the system does the work. So, Dr. Carlos, it's a pleasure to have you here. There's in the link here below, they have QuiroHub.com. You can learn more about Dr. Carlos' work. For those interested in maximize the change, I'm inviting everybody here to go and visit our upcoming event, Influencing from the Front for the Virtual Presenter. Yes. I was talking to Dr. Carlos today.
I'll be there.
Dr. Carlos will be there. I was talking to him about that communication has changed. You have a communication 1.0, which is think in terms of like old school rhetor speaking in front of one guy in a podium speaking, right? So that's his communication 1.0. Communication 2.0 was the guy or the girl, the speaker doing a presentation, showing PowerPoints. Then you have people, the laptop opens. So it's a mix between the guy or the speaker from the room and the PowerPoint technology. Well, welcome to Communication 3.0, which is box to box.
I want to say something else, Roberto, and to give you credit for it. One of the things that has helped us the most with those social media efforts in the last 6 months, that we've gone from traditional marketing, dinner talks, lunch and learns, coffee breaks, a corporate massage like we were doing, and we had the system, and we were on the roll. We were doing 8 events a month.
It's amazing.
It was just, and we had them booked 3 months out. Boom, and all of a sudden the pandemic strikes. So we have to go full digital, full social media marketing, which we're doing great with our clinics and with our clients. And one of the things that I learned from you that helped us the most in this is chunking.
Yeah.
Because we had these scripts that we wanted to portray through our videos in social media, but we know they're too long. We know that nobody watches a 3-minute video on social media. So we did, let's call it reverse chunking. Instead of taking one chunk and expanding, and went reverse. I went from the chunk to the word. And now we're doing 15, 20-second videos, 30-second videos that are super powerful and allow us to connect in a way at a storytelling level. Because now we can create 4 videos and present them now, and social media allows you to present them sequentially to your people and portray a story with little 20-second chunks. So thank you again, Roberto, for your teaching and your.
I appreciate that. And you have here a Mofongo Power.
Oh my God.
Plantain. Oh, we have all my Puerto Rico people here today. I love it. I just love, man. Let me tell you, Carlos, so much love for you, so much love for chiropractic, so much love for Puerto Rico. If you've never been on a conversation, nothing to do with chiropractic here, if you've never been to Puerto Rico, make Puerto Rico next vacation. I've been there twice. Cannot wait to go back. Just love Puerto
we love
Rico.
To have you back.
The people and the food, everything is an amazing experience. Dr. Carlos, thanks so much for being here today. Go visit Chiro, not Cairo, QuiroHub.
QuiroHub. Be well, my friend. Big hug. Ciao.